everyone, it's Sammy or Alpine N55, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing and installation video of the VisiCan. So VisiCan was nice enough to send me out one of their new products here, and this is actually going to be a CAN visualizer, which is essentially a gauge that plugs into your OBD2 and then shows you information from the CAN network, which is going to be the controller area network that all of your modules are going to be sending commands through. So let's go ahead and start on the unboxing. It's a very nice packaging to start off with. We've got the nice foam insulation all around, and then here we've got the nice cover to protect the lens on the front. So if we go ahead and take that off, we'll see that we have the actual device in here. And so it's a really simple device. All you're going to be doing is installing this directly into your AC vent, and then you're going to be running the wire directly from the back, or the wires here, and that's going to be going to your OBD2 port. So let's go ahead and put this down here. And then if we lift up the rest of the foam, here we're going to have our main cable, and this one is going to be the OBD2 cable that's going to connect to this harness right here. And then it looks like they've included an update cable for future software updates. And that's going to be all that's in the box, so let's go ahead and get to the installation. You're going to want to go ahead and pull your dashboard trim out, and to do that you can start from this corner here and just go ahead and give it a pull, and then you can go ahead and continue pulling all across. Now we just need to disconnect the two wires here, and this one you can actually just go ahead and pull right out of the socket, and the bottom one here is going to have a tab right under. You just go ahead and push and then pull it out of place. And the next step is going to be to remove our instrument cluster. The instrument cluster is mounted with two T20 screws, so just go ahead and remove those, and after that you simply will just put your finger in here and you can pull the instrument cluster right out towards you. So to get it out, the easiest way is going to be put your steering wheel back and down, and then you can pull the cluster pretty much out like this, and there is a little bit of a piece on the bottom holding it in, so you just kind of lift it up. So once you have it removed, you can just go ahead and set it to the side, and these are those tabs on the bottom that I was talking about. They kind of just hold it in place, so once you have it all out, you now have room to route the OBD2 cable. And what I'm going to do to route it is just go ahead and drop it down from right here, and then with the bottom panel removed under the dash, you should be able to go ahead and connect that cable right into the OBD2 port. And then with the other harness, we will then be able to hook up the actual VisiCan from the AC vent right here over to that OBD2 cable right in here. Alright, so I've gone ahead and dropped the trim under the dashboard. So what we can do now is just take the OBD2 cable and we can fish it through here, and eventually it will reach right down here. Just go ahead and find that OBD2 port right there, and then you can just go ahead and plug the cable right in. So there we go. Go back up top and we see our other end of the harness, and this here can now plug into the one that's going to go into the screen. So now that we have that all connected, you're going to notice these extra wires here, and these are just going to be for if you have extra sensors that you would like the gauge to show. And we're not going to be using that today, so we'll just go ahead and leave that as is. But we're going to go ahead and take this wire, and you're going to want to fish it back there into where you can actually get access to it through the AC vent. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So now that we have the wire running through, the next step is going to be to take apart the AC vent and actually install the VisiCan. To take out the vents, you'll just go ahead and carefully pry up at these tabs, and then the entire assembly will tilt back and come out. With the vent assembly removed, you just want to go ahead and pull this up right off of the vent, and then after that, these pieces in here are actually going to be attached with some clips that are going to be up here at the top and then also at the bottom. And once you've pushed in all those tabs, you'll simply just pull this assembly out. Next, you want to go ahead and route the two VisiCan wires, the update wire and the actual connection wire, through the back of the AC trim here, and then you want to put the VisiCan in place. With the two wires connected, you can go ahead and just slide the unit into place. And then after that, it's time to reinstall the AC trim to your main dash trim. So pretty much all we have to do now is go ahead and hit the ignition button, and you're going to see the startup logo here, which they hooked me up with my own EJS Tunes one. So please excuse if you hear the car in the back, but here is the main page of the VisiCan. So at the top, we're going to have our knock maximum out of any of the sensors for any of the cylinders. Next to that, we're going to have our AFR, and then below that, the row is going to start off with our high pressure fuel pump, and that's going to be in bar by default. And then we're going to have ignition timing. Next to that is our oil pressure, and then next to that's going to be boost. And then the next row below that's going to have our coolant temperature sensor, our oil temperature sensor, and then next to that we're going to have our exhaust gas temperature, and then our intake air temperature. And let's go to the next page here. So on this next page, we're going to have AFR, ignition timing, intake air temperature, along with every single one of the knock sensors per cylinder. And then our next page, we're going going to have our AFR, boost, RPM, and then all of these are going to be for the misfires of each cylinder. And then on our next page, we're going to have our AFR, RPM, boost target, and then we're going to have that knock sensor max for each of the cylinders, but this is going to be the max for whichever cylinder has the maximum. And then after that, we're going to have our AFR, our gas tank level, oil pressure, exhaust gas temperature, intake air temperature, coolant temperature sensor, and then our oil temperature as well. And on this page, this is going to be more of the analog page right here. So this is if you're like adding in your own sensors or anything like that. As of now, I haven't added anything, and I don't have an ethanol sensor connected to this device, so it's going to be showing no values for that. And on this page, we're going to have our 0 to 60, 40 to 100, 60 to 130, and that's all going to be based off of the speed sensor that's built into the car. So we can go back to the main page here, and then a nice feature is that you have the ability to adjust the brightness of the page, and then also you have the ability to inverse the display. So that's all that's offered as of now, but in the future they're going to be adding a lot more features with the software updates, which is a great thing that you have the ability to do on this device. And again, this is the VisiCan for the BMW F30. Huge thanks to VisiCan for sending this unit out for this install video today. And this unit right here actually fits in the F30 and the F20 as well if you're on the European market. And just to mention that they also have a USA and a European website, so it's going to be separate if you want to purchase on there, and I'll have those linked below. Other than that though, I highly suggest having a VisiCan in your car if you're going to have it tuned or just overall want to be able to monitor it on the fly. It's one of those products that's kind of priceless, and I highly recommend getting it. I would have purchased it even if they didn't send this out to me because it's one of those necessities to have in your car. So again, huge shout out to VisiCan. Be sure to go check them out and have a great day.